metal, it has a stand, and you know, the material is apparently good. And maybe you'd like this one better then. Let's see. So this is the iPad Air.
We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race, and the human race is filled with passion. Medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. To quote from Whitman, "O me, O life of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish. What good amid these, O me, O life? Answer, that you are here, that life exists, and identity. That the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. That the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be?"
So, I'm not saying everyone should make that one. All right, thank you. I think that was it.
Thank you. And now we have also the true Santos here. Bisnestreffit here.
Yes, welcome.
Maybe you can introduce
Maybe
the
you,
next
yes,
speaker.
yes,
Joo, katsotaan.
yeah.
Joo, kokeillaan. Mä menin itse asiassa toiseen, mutta siis kokeillaan vaan.
So, thank you, George,
Joo.
and thank you for starting. I was late
Sorry for this, sorry.
because of the weather. And yeah, now we get a presentation from Elonkanat. We have Jenny Antonen here, and yes, you have a presentation about your perspective of what is powerful communication.
I do, yes, you do. Good morning, everybody, on my behalf as well. It's great to go after these amazing videos and, you know, having your attention with the, you know, sounds and all of that. I think my perspective is slightly different.
Good.
However, like you, I didn't quite take the topic, you know, the very orthodox way. I think I'm going to start with how the world has changed. Because I think that's really important to understand the context if you're trying to figure out or understand what makes powerful communication. Do you know what arrhythmia means? That's the thing when your heart kind of like doesn't stay in pace. I'm not a doctor, as you can hear. But I think what's happening in the world is that there's this slight arrhythmia happening. There's these old structures, old ways of acting and working and communicating, and then the world keeps changing. Everything around us keeps changing, and there's a few factors about the change that I wanted to highlight. First of all, there are like more messages than ever around us. We are surrounded by messages all the time. I'm looking at the youngsters in the back row and thinking if they during their short life has changed so dramatically as far as slightly older, maybe 2-3 years older. But I think even with you guys, you can see probably the change. I mean, depending on how you count and how active you are, for example, in social media and what your kind of like everyday life is like, there's an estimation that we get, or we are kind of like among 5,000 to 30,000 messages or marketing messages a day. And that's really a lot, you know. You walk around and everywhere you go, what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what people talk to you. I mean, all of these messages coming to you, that's like a huge amount of messages, people trying to get your attention. And then the world is really getting faster. And I don't know if that's kind of like a cliche already, but I think it really is. I think everything is becoming faster and faster. There really isn't so much time to, sit back and really like consider and, wonder whether I should do this or that or buy this shirt or that shirt. I think, everything just goes faster and faster. And this isn't even the most recent. I couldn't find the most recent. I think these numbers are from 2015. But still, if you think of the amount of messages and things happening in 1 minute in the world, we have, 3 million Google searches every minute, or 3 million Facebook posts. Well, I forget, maybe 60 or 70,000 Instagram pictures, or 400,000 tweets in a minute, people. In 1 minute, 60 seconds. So it means that things just happen and happen and happen. Messages are kind of like flying around you. And one reason, of course, is that the number of devices online devices is going faster, or growing faster than ever. I mean, I can't read these many zeros. I think it's impossible to understand and, distinguish between these billions and trillions and billiards and milliards and what have you. But there's like, the pace just gets faster. And the estimation is that there's going to be 1 trillion online devices, or you guys from this place probably might have even a bigger number. But just saying that the number of devices on the internet, the number of devices that we have that allow us to be kind of like in the central position in creating what the discussions around us is growing like faster than ever. If it took like 30 years for TV and radio to reach half of the population of the world, it took, 3.5 years for social media to be used by half of the population of the world. 30 years for TV, 3.5 years for social media. I mean, the pace just gets faster and faster. And then what this all means is that the world of communication, if we think communication now really broadly, it's not just, me informing you guys something or sending press releases or what have you. But kind of like the basic principles, the rules, how it works, who has the power to influence, they've changed dramatically. Back in the days when the back row boys weren't born, I mean, life used to be, you could read the paper in the morning and you knew for the day or even for the coming week what was hot, what was happening. You could trust all the news, right? Remember that time? Or you could plan your life 6 months ahead, and it really would be exceptional if something really dramatically changed. We would trust, back in the days we trusted people with fancy titles, and we listened to organizations, we trusted governments more, official sources of communication more. But today, what all of this means, that there are more messages and that the pace is getting faster and faster, we have more and more devices, it means that we all have the power, we all have the media. People believe people. We don't want to so much listen to organizations speaking, and that's really important to understand. I think that's really characteristic to this era. Again, I'm trying to think whether the back row boys were born in 2005, but I'm guessing they were. So these two pictures, I don't know if you've seen this, but these are from the Pope's inauguration ceremony from 2005 and 2013. Can you spot the difference? Back in 2005, if you had the opportunity to participate in the event, there was one person in the right corner with their phone and probably, texting. I forget whether that Nokia model actually had any whether you could take pictures with that or not. Go to 2013 and you have, what looks like everybody with their phones recording the event. You go there physically, but yet this is your way of being present. Fast forward 3 years. What has happened? What do you think? What do you think the change is? It's not anymore so much about being there and then sharing the video to your friends that, yeah, see, I was there. But it's more like, yeah, I really was there. here's me with Hillary, right? And I think this picture really well kind of like captures the change when we say that the people really have the power in communications nowadays, or that it's really shifted. That's how we are. Then if we had even older people here present, they would say that, no, but that's not me. I'm not there. I'm not on social media because, you know, it's not real life and it's blah, 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 it's not right? But I mean, that's becoming a minority all the time. Currently in Finland, the old people, not me, the old people or the elderly people that's where the social media using is growing faster and faster. Those 60 plus people, right? I mean, the world really is changing, and it really is going towards a direction where every one of us has the power, and we actually use it. And to use it and to you know, be powerful in your communication doesn't always mean that you have to be the loudest, right? It's not about, you know, repeating your message all the time. Although, if you look at the discussion on social media, that's how it sometimes looks like. That if you want to be powerful, if you want to get your message through, you just shout louder, you know, be angrier, more aggressive, repeat. And of course, sometimes that's a good strategy, but not necessarily. You don't always have to be the loudest. But you will need to stand out because of the amount of messages. If we think back of the numbers I showed, if there's even if there's only 5,000 marketing messages around you, sir, during a day, for me to then get my message through to you, I really need to stand out, right? I really need to stand out. So how do we do that? I mean, dressing like a fake Elvis is, of course, is an option. But I think deep down it's about really defining what is it that you're going to say. What is it that you want people to hear and remember after they've listened to you? What is the reaction you want them to have? Do you want them to do I want you guys to leave this room and think that, yeah, there was this consulting, you know, with the flying hands and nonsense and blah blah blah? Or do I want you guys to remember something? A bit similar to what you said earlier about the emotion. Do you want to evoke some sort of emotion, and if so, what? And it should all come from the core message. What is it that you really want to say? And it's darn hard to sometimes really choose on that, or then kind of like define, here's my ballpark, this is my message, this is what I want to say. But I think that's the only way if you want to stand out in the crowd. And to help you define that, I think this Simon Sinek's circle thingy is used quite often, but I think it's super valid. In this era where there's more messages than ever, where the pace is just faster and faster, everyone's trying to get to you, everyone's trying to get everyone's attention. Those who actually have their package together, those who define their core message, this is what I want to say, here's my goal, this is what I want to now persuade you to think. Tend to think not from the outer circle and stay on the level of what is it that I'm saying, nor do they stay on the how am I going to do this, but they focus on the why. As Simon Sinek says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And again, we're back to emotions. We're back to defining what's the emotion I want you to have after I've stared into your eyes and tried to get your attention. And then once I've somehow touched something in that head of yours or heart of yours, and there's an emotion, it's so much easier for you to remember. It's so much easier for me and my message then to stand out from all of this noise and all of this crowd. And once we've done that, once we kind of know what the core message is and we understand all of this, what's happening around us, then we come to the essentials of powerful communications in this area, and it's about opportunities.